Hey guys, how's it going? My name is Olaze, and welcome back to Project Ozone 2. In the last episode, we did we fight the guy Guardian last episode? Or was that the episode before? I think it was the episode before. I don't actually remember what we did last time. But we were working on quests, I think. Does that sound familiar? I think we were working on quests in the Gamma tab? No. Epsilon. Yeah, we were working. That's right. I remember now. We were working on this, which is an automated way to make unassembled PCBs. It doesn't require the light box, doesn't require much of anything, really. It just requires some air pressure. Well, we can maintain that air pressure pretty easily, and these guys will work just fine. And it's a great way to get plenty of circuit boards, which we're going to need. So one of the things that, let's take a look. We did this a little bit last time, but we're going to need the dire crafting table. Not that one, this one. And we can make everything here except for the awakened cores, which is going to require awakened draconium and wyvern cores. And the wyvern cores require draconic cores, which require blue gems, which are on Neptune. So we need to advance in rocketry before we can really do anything with that. And one of the first things we're going to want to make once we get to that point is the energy condenser, I believe is what we want. And this guy really isn't that difficult. We're going to need some alchemical chests, which is going to require spirit binders and all that kind of fun stuff. But nothing here is too terrible to make. Dark matter is a little bit annoying because of plutonium. But we'll be able to kind of handle that later. And red matter is also somewhat annoying. It requires some pure nether quartz. Yuck. But once we start making some of that stuff, we'll be able to kind of duplicate pretty much everything in the game. And then from here on out, it will be mostly about getting things automated to make mass quantities of other things. Averitia, however you say the mod name, this stuff is just silly. The Infinity Helmet, which we'll be able to make much later, basically makes you invulnerable. It puts you into creative mode, more or less. The Sword of the Cosmos does so much damage. All of this stuff is just insane. And I have no idea what that one does, but that's kind of funny. And once we start getting into this type of stuff with the Newtonium compressors, we're going to need, we're neutron collectors. This is really expensive. Requires a lot of stuff. And so we'll get there. It's going to be a while yet, but we're going to get there. But kind of the first thing we need to do is we can do GalactiCraft. We can make the Master Infusion Stone. We just need to kill the Gaia Guardians a couple more times, and that will be taken care of. Or we can start working on GalactiCraft and getting to Neptune and beyond. I want to get all 10 tiers of the rockets before we really do too much else. We come down to, is it in Theta? No. Iota? Iota. So we're on, next rocket to get is tier 5. We need to get down to tier 10. So rocketry is something that we can work on, and the decision is infusions or rocketry. And we're going to go with rocketry, and I'll tell you guys why. Going to all the dungeons is going to allow a bunch of different, we'll be fighting standard mobs, and the more bosses we kill, the harder the standard mobs are going to get, to the point where it's going to be ridiculous. So kill a bunch of bosses a whole bunch of times and get nothing for it, or go to dungeons where we're going to have to fight normal mobs and get more rocket stuff. We're going to do rocketry. That's my kind of logic and thinking. So in order to kind of make rocketry a lot better, we're going to do a couple of things. First of all, we're going to want some crop sticks. Do we have clippers in this mod pack? I don't actually know. I don't remember. So there are clipper. Now the main question is, do we have access to those? I think they might be in here. No. If I had some clippers, where would they be? Probably not in there, not in there. So what we're going to do, first of all, is we're going to head to, just make sure we don't have them sitting somewhere. I don't think they're in the last dimension, or last millennium. Same difference. No, I don't believe so, because I'd use them to duplicate this stuff. So basically, we're going to make these clippers so that we can easily kind of make more. Can we even make clippers? Maybe that's why I didn't make them. Ah, we can. Okay. Let's get rid of that. And let's make some clippers. And we're going to need some crop sticks. Let's just steal them out of here. And is it iron bars that we need, or is it I don't remember what it is. Or is it dark iron bars? Dark iron bars. Alright, so do we have any more dark iron bars? We do. That should be enough. Let's go ahead and throw these guys in here. And we're going to need some dirt and a mattock as well. So, in case you haven't figured out, we're going to go back to the nether. And we're going to upgrade our system of getting capacitors. So we're going to upgrade our capacitor seeds. I went ahead and made some more basic capacitors. The recipe for this is just conductive iron, basic capacitors, and redstone. It was pretty easy. We've made it before. I didn't want to bother you guys with that. So we're just going to go to the nether. Anything that we forget, like conduits. Conduits might be good to have. Let's take some of these. So anything that we might forget, we can easily come back and get. But one of the first things I want to do is I want to upgrade our capacitor seeds. I want to get more. And the reason is, if we can have more, then we can start producing more capacitors. Specifically, octadic capacitors. That's the idea anyways. So, been a while since we've been to the nether. Just fly up here. And we don't even have to go out of our little hut or anything like that. We can just hit the elevator. And right here is our capacitor. So we have all of 3. We're going to duplicate this by a lot. And I didn't realize, so we have a whole bunch of capacitor seeds here. Don't really care about those. We're going to do 1, 2, 3. Probably shouldn't have done that. But I might be able to fix it. And what we can do is extract it. Insert disabled. Nope. Okay. So I messed up. Do I have a bucket on me by chance? No, of course not. And we're probably going to want to get an upgrade for this guy so he can do a little bit more. Plus we're going to want enhanced energy conduits, not the standard ones. So a lot of things we've got to kind of correct, but nothing too difficult really. So let's head back to the overworld, and what we're going to do is we're just going to upgrade the system. We're going to basically, we started with 3, we're going to have a total of 12 by the time we're done. And so that should be good enough. I know I have some upgrades here. Iron upgrades, that should be good enough. So upgrade. Make some iron upgrades, which requires all these other upgrades. 1. And then lapis. And then 10. And iron. So there's that. And then we're going to need these conduits. And 2 buckets of water. So, just kind of forgot to grab water. 1, 2. And that should give us everything we need. We're not going to really need to... I don't think we're going to worry about the sprinklers with this as much. Just because it's not quite as important. I hate those spiders. I can see the Erebus spiders in the distance when we're loading in, and I hate those things so very much. The Black Widows are just creepy, and I don't like dealing with them. So we're not going to, ever. So let's just pop back up here. Alright, so, first of all, let's break that. I don't think we'll need that. That was more positioning, so we can extract always active. And we'll just do this. That'll fill up. And then insert. Perfect. So now that's working just fine. And what we're going to do is, one, we're going to add upgrade there. And then we're going to give it one, how do we want to do this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Actually, let's do this to the other side. And I want to make sure F9, we're still in this chunk. Everything needs to be in this chunk and only this chunk. Alright, cool. Then we take these bars. Do something like that. I realize we don't need the dirt. I didn't know that one. But that's fine. No skin off my neck. I don't know what that saying is. Why did I even try to say it? No concern by me. So let's just do that. And then what? Let's see. Is there a way? Let's just do this, and we can knock off the stuff. Doesn't really matter too much. Don't want to get stuck. And real quick, we magnet. And all we need to do now is, hopefully that is enough light for all of these guys. I guess we'll find out soon enough. If need be, we'll add more light. Or we could probably center it a little bit better. So center would be like here. And we just do this. Nothing will grow now. Oh wait, we didn't break it. And we'll put it like right there. Cannot grow there. Alright, what if we put it here? Cannot grow. So we might need to make another light. Can grow, can grow, can grow. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's all we needed. Now these are unidentified. I don't think it matters. That one cannot grow. How about these guys? None of them can grow. Alright, so you know what? Let's grab this. Bring this over. Break the light. And let's see, where do we want to put it? I guess right here. Will that get as many as possible? Can grow. Cannot grow down there. Everything else can grow. So we can actually look at the block light. So block light is 14 here. 13, 14. Okay, so can we move this one over? That is the question. If we can, and this grows, cannot grow. Dang it. Okay. So what we're going to have to do is go make another light. And we're going to put one there, as well as... I hear a gas. That's not good. I don't know if gas can spawn up here on the bedrock. I don't believe they can. But what we need to do is grab another light. And I know this episode is becoming, becoming kind of tedious a little bit. But that's really all we needed to do. So I will make another light. I'll bring that back after the episode and plug it in, all that fun stuff. We're only going to lose on a couple of them not growing currently, so it's not that big of a deal. So let's get on to what I really want to start working on, and that is a little bit of automation with GalactiCraft. So let's head over here. So as you can see, I've expanded the platform quite a bit. I've moved things around a little bit, and we need to grab, so we can throw this stuff away. We don't need that, or that, or that. Alright, so I've moved things around. We're going to need some conduits. And we're going to start setting up some different things. So the compressors are the main thing we need to kind of work on. And part of that is going to be, so circuit fabricators don't care about that right now. The electric compressor, we're going to want to break, and I'm trying to break it without breaking everything. Okay, they take a little bit. A refinery, don't care. And this stuff I don't care about yet. We'll move it over here eventually, but the electric compressor is the main thing. So if I put it like this, power goes that side. Perfect. Let's move this guy down a little bit, because what we'll end up having is we will bring out energy conduits like so, and then there'll be the circuit fabricator and all that kind of stuff will be over here. So we're gonna just bring a line of these guys down, and if we take a look at our rocket, so what do we need to make these rockets? Well, let's just start at the big one. So where is the biggest one? Tier 10. So tier 10 requires heavy duty plates. Tier 10. So I guess we should be looking at the heavy duty plates, not anything else. So heavy duty plates. Or is it hyphenated? Yeah. Alright, so tier 1 is compressed steel, aluminum, and bronze. Now we're going to want 3 of these. We're going to want 3 things for that. So we're going to want to do something like this. And we'll have some filters. We'll have 3 of those machines. And can we insert items on the back? In, out. And we can do colors if we want. So for example, So insert could be green, extract could be red, always active. And what we'll do is we'll have a chest. So these guys will all have this. And then we'll have a chest that sets like right here. Let's actually grab a chest. And let's actually grab like 10 chests. And you'll see why soon enough. So what we can have is a chest that sits right here, and extracts on green always active, and then we'll have the line of 3 guys that go how they need to, and then it will go into another compressor, which will then have a chest on top. And what we can do is we can have this insert on, let's say, black. So we'll have 4 compressors here. The first one will make, for example, steel, bronze, and tin? Aluminum. And then we will put those into the last one, which will make us heavy-duty plates, and we'll put them here. And what we can do, we can actually wire it up so that we can switch levers. That's a halfway decent idea. So if we, let's see, how do we want to do this? We can put it here and put another compressor here. Actually, I don't know. We'll have to figure it out. But kind of doing a lot of that, we're going to need a lot of compressors. So for example, tier 2 requires meteoric iron. We need to compress meteoric iron. Tier 3 requires dash. We have to compress dash. Tier 4 requires carbon. To compress carbon. Tier 5 is palladium. Tier 6 is manganese. Or is that, yeah, that is, nope, tier 6. Magnesium. Sorry, not manganese. Different metals. Reinforced crystals, you know, zinc, tungsten. Now I wonder, can we use any tungsten? No, it has to be tier 9. How about zinc? Has to be tier 8. Okay, so and then that will give us more stuff. So we'll have to have like 2 compressors for each tier. So we're gonna need a lot of compressors. Roughly doing math, we're gonna need about 22 compressors. Now let's take a look at the compressor. The electric compressor requires some wafers. That stuff is pretty easy, and in fact, let's go ahead and move this guy over to the other side, and we'll set him up like right here, and we can put the circuit fabrication stuff in here. It's no big deal. So the wafers are not that bad. Titanium wafers just require just different things, and that's the trickier part. Electrotine we have a ton of. Dark steel is annoying, but we can do that. That's not that bad. And compressor is more electrotine, some steel plates, machine housing, and dark steel. So all of that's not too bad. But the annoying thing is these great flux batteries, which require energetic, and just on and on and on until basically here. So in order to make that easier on ourselves, we're going to need some new things. And I want to start auto crafting much more with Applied Energistics. So I went ahead and made a bunch of blank patterns, and we're going to start expanding our system just slightly. So first thing we're going to need is we're going to need 2 interfaces. So if we tell it to make 2 interfaces, we can't. Let's tell it to make 1. Let's start with 1. And the thing we were running out of is flux crystals. So let's make a sag mill. So we're going to need 2 pistons, flint, obsidian, machine frame, all that kind of stuff. So flint, obsidian. A lot of this stuff is pretty easy. Machine frame is, I believe, just iron. And it's steel and a capacitor. So we don't actually need iron. We're going to need 2 of these, so let's get 2 capacitors. And then pistons, which I don't have auto-crafted, but we can later. So let's just put all that stuff in there. Let's go make our 2 machine frames, and we're going to make 2 because we're going to make some automation. Now, where we're putting the automation is not going to be its permanent location. We're going to move it eventually to another area. Not entirely sure where yet, because a lot of this stuff is just going to be storage and whatnot. I think I'm going to keep this for the time being. We might remove it later, but a lot of this stuff can kind of stay where it's at. So I think where we might do automation is underneath the magic, because there's next to nothing over there. We could also do it underneath here, but we'll do some of it there, but most of the main processing for Applied Energistics we'll do underneath the blue. I think we'll be fine, unless there's something else that I'm missing, but I don't know. So let's just get rid of this stuff, and let's make a sag mill. We need to take that stuff with us. That's right. I forgot. So pistons. We need 3 obsidian. 1, 2, 3. We're gonna need a machine. We're gonna need the machine frames that we just made. Is it 1 iron, 2 flint? Iron and flint. And then for the alloy smelter, which I also want to make, we need 4 blocks of iron, which is not bad. 1, 2, 3, 4. 3 gold furnaces. So let's make some more furnaces. 1, 2, 3. And then we should be able to do this pretty easily. And gold. Perfect. And then the last thing we need is a cauldron. So just a lot of resources, but let's go ahead and make both the alloy smelter and the sag mill. And the reason we want to make these is because we're going to set some automation up with Applied Energistics, so the Applied Energistics system can use these guys. And by doing so, we'll be able to make just a lot of really cool things automatically. And that's the idea. So we need interface. We're going to tell it to make a recipe. So Fluix crystal gives you Fluix dust. Perfect. And we'll have to teach the system how to make Fluix crystals later. That will be another thing. We'll probably dedicate an entire episode to just automation. Now we're gonna need some ME cables, and that should be everything. So we're just gonna come right down here, and I think over here, let's go ahead and put the alloy smelter and the sag mill. So the sag mill is this guy. He is going to be push-pull, and there's a really cool trick we can do, which we'll get to relatively soon. So let's just do this, just slightly out of reach, and we need to, I think we need to hit this guy like so. So it puts it into here, and then this guy just needs some power. So we're gonna need more energy conduits. But other than that, let's accidentally break some more quartz. Alright, let's go get some more energy conduits. I should not have any problem making those. So, conduits. I'm still using the lowest tier because these are still really good. 30,000 RF per tick is a lot. So, it's not that big of a deal to use the lesser ones. And this is incredibly messy. Like I said, we'll move this stuff eventually. The entire Applied Energistics system will be moved. But it'll be fine. So one last thing that we're going to have to do. Let's grab some flint. And actually we want a full stack. And what we can do is tell this to keep a stack of 64 flint. And it will automatically put it in there. So we can put everything else away, and there we go. Now we have Fluix crystals, Fluix dust rather, automatically made. Now we can grab some Fluix essence to make more. Is it like this? Like this? Alright, so we can make 28 more Fluix crystals, and we'll get those grown here soon. And I need to kind of work on the farm a little bit, getting things moved and whatnot, essences and all that kind of stuff. We will eventually want to kind of send everything over here and then sort it as we go. We'll get there though. So now if I tell the system to make another interface, it knows how to. And we're doing all of this just to do one thing. So if we look at our interfaces, we're running out of room with the molecular assembler. Now, one of the things I want to teach the system how to make is more molecular assemblers. How bad were these to make? Alright, so it knows how to make the cores. So we'll tell it to make one of each of the cores. We only have one CPU, I've got to remember that. But the compressed crafting tables we can teach the system how to make. It just needs some planks, and then it can compress those, and as you can see it kind of quickly escalates. So we have interface, we do. We can make more, but for right now I just want to set this guy up. And there we go. So this guy will be like so. And I think for right now we're going to have it be alloys only. So can we get like 2 more interfaces? We are missing calculation processors. So we have the printed calculation circuits. We have, what are they called? Pulsating chipsets. And isn't there something else we need? We need printed silicon. So that should work pretty quickly. We can speed that up, and again, we're going to make more advanced inscribers later. Just a lot of things we kind of need to work towards. So what I want to teach the system more than these guys is how to make these batteries. Oops, clicked the wrong thing. So that's the next step. First thing we're going to teach the system is redstone. How to make redstone. It's pretty easy. Redstone into blocks. Next we need to teach the system how to make these guys. So pulsating iron is the next thing. So we're going to need redstone and iron. We're going to do a crafting pattern that says these two things in here give you pulsating iron. Now the last thing we're going to want to do is grab some double layer capacitors. It'll make those machines go a little bit faster. And that's good enough for me. We can upgrade to octadic later. Not too big of a deal. So pulsating, no, conductive iron. There we go. Now the other thing we're going to want to teach the system how to make is the other one that goes with this. So electrical steel. We get electrical steel from silicon, coal powder, and iron. So iron, silicon, and coal powder gives you electrical steel. And now we're also going to want to teach the system how to make silicon and coal powder. So coal gives you coal powder, and silicon is in this mod pack, what is it? I can't remember. It's the standard recipe, so sand or dust. So sand, but it's not a 100% chance. So let's say like 8 sand gives you 1 silicon. Now this is obviously going to make extra. That's fine. We can get more sand. That's not a problem. So these guys are those and those, and that goes in there. And now we should be able to switch back to crafting and tell the system how to make the batteries. Now these guys don't stack, which is why it's such a pain. Do we have more interfaces yet? Oh wait, right. We were waiting on those. So now we can make more interfaces. Make 2 more. And in order to upgrade the battery, we're going to need one. Next, we can do, we're going to need pulsating iron blocks. We should also teach the system how to make pulsating iron. So pulsating iron is ender pearl plus iron. And you can kind of get the gist. So I'm not going to bore you guys going through everything, but we'll need to not only teach the system how to make the metals, but also teach the system how to make the blocks as we need them. And then what else for the battery, the second tier battery? So we just need the pulsating iron block. And then that makes the battery. And we can put that in there. Cool. So that's kind of the idea. Obviously, our Applied Energistics system is not the best of systems right now, but we're getting there. So if we do something like this, I really need to have a smart cable. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, we should be fine on channels. Do we have any smart cables? We do. So let's break that. And what is up there that's obsidian on the bottom? Oh, it's the enchanting table. Okay, so that should tell us we have 6. Yeah, so we can get 2 more. We can teach the system how to make molecular assemblers later, and a lot of different things. Now, eventually, we will just kind of EMC those into existence, because that's going to be the easier way. But you can kind of get the idea of what we have to do, and why it's going to be so difficult. So let's grab all this pulverized coal. I'm going to grab a ton of iron. And we're going to just do this and make literally as much steel as possible. So I will tell you guys what, I'm going to go ahead and end the episode off here. I'm going to work on getting more compressors and setting this guy up so that we can start working on getting more stuff. So once we start building more rockets, we can go more places, conquer the dungeons, and get the resources. Now the only other thing that we're going to want to do, and I'll also work on this a little bit off camera, this is why I wanted to set up more capacitors, is in order to get the digital miner, which is an amazing thing that's going to be super helpful. We need teleportation cores, which are expensive, but not that bad. The atomic alloys are the worst. So we're going to need a lot of these capacitors. We're also going to need logistical sorters, which requires more and more stuff. So, yeah. And then the robot, which requires basic energy. That requires energy tablets, which requires these great flux batteries. It's a lot of capacitors that we're going to need. All in all, it's not that bad to make this guy, but it is. So what we're going to do is I'm going to work on getting compressors and, you know, all the resources and all that kind of stuff, getting plates automated, and we'll come back and we'll look at that however I do it. But the next thing that I want to work towards is getting into finishing up the quest with the where is it? Zeta? No, Theta. Pneumatic craft and mechanism. So getting the combiner, which requires some advanced PCBs and a bunch of other things. The advanced PCBs aren't bad, but we're going to need more capacitors. We're going to need a lot of capacitors. And so I want to start, while I'm kind of working on things, getting more octadic capacitors coming in. We've got 4, and we'll need a lot more. So that's the plan. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!